Good morning and welcome to the Community Council. I'm Darren Ferreira. For more information on today's topic, please visit this station's website. We're going to be talking, usually what we do is we talk to a nonprofit organization, an established 501c, but what we're going to do today is we're going to talk with a young lady, I should add too, that is kicking off a campaign. And it's something that may have affected you. I know it's affected me. And down the line, this will be a 501c that you can get more involved with and help out. But we're on the groundwork of it right now. So we're going to find out more about the Miscarriage and Stillbirth Awareness Campaign. And this morning, we have the founder of all of this, Elizabeth Severson, joining us. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning.
Elizabeth or Liz? Which one?
Either one's fine.
All right. See, look at that. I already hit you with a tough question. All right. Give us a little background on your story. Why are you doing this?
So, to put it in short, this last June, I delivered my first baby. She was stillborn. She was full term. She was beautiful and perfect. And so it was just a big shock to us that she was a stillborn. So what moved us, or what made us want to do something more, was that we just felt like her life couldn't be for nothing. Right. There had to be more than just a beautiful baby girl who we didn't get to hold every day. So after long nights of no sleep and just really missing her, I realized that this is a high statistic. It's 1 in 4. There's a lot of people affected, and there's got to be a lot of people who are probably seeking comfort and answers, just like my husband and I were. So what we did was I created the 1 in 4 Stillborn Stilloved, and the goal with that is basically just to raise awareness, to get the conversation going. It's such a taboo topic that you just don't hear a lot about it, and it's unfortunate because there's a big community out there of people affected. Because
it's kind of tough to even prevent this because you don't know why it happens. I mean, when I talked to you initially to set this up, I told you that this had happened to my family, and I'd never heard the statistics of 1 in 4, but my wife and I have had 4 kids together. One of them was stillborn. So there you go. We fit the demographics of the people that this affects. And something happened with her sac, so we couldn't even see that was coming. So this is more of a support group, and to let people kind of talk about this.
Yeah, I think it's definitely about supporting one another, because it's definitely just such a dramatic.
And you feel alone.
You do.
Even though you have your family there with you, they have no idea what you're going through.
And I think as a mom who's experienced this, you kind of feel like your body has let yourself down, but more importantly, your family and your friends down who have been waiting for this baby. So you almost want to blame yourself, which that's not the case, and that shouldn't be the case, but that's just how you feel, and it's unfortunate.
And there's a lot that goes on after that, too. I've never had a miscarriage in our family. I don't know anybody in my family that's had one, so I don't know what happens after. I do know what happens after the stillbirth, which is you still have to lay that little one to rest, and you have to have a funeral. Yeah.
So I think the hardest thing was delivering my little girl, knowing that she wasn't going to come out alive. And that was really, really hard. But even beyond that, knowing that we weren't going to take her home. So leaving the hospital was a nightmare, because unlike every other family around us, we were leaving empty-handed. And then knowing that, in a week or so, we were going to be laying her to rest at a cemetery, which is not where babies belong, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's really sad. Ours was just before Christmas, so we kind of it happened on the 18th of December. We said, we're going to lay him to rest after Christmas. Mm-hmm. We're going to get through Christmas, and we're always going to, we'll come here on Christmas, put a tree up, and do all that fun stuff. What does the awareness campaign entail? What's it going to be all about?
So, first of all, we were able to organize some images, and to backtrack, after this happened, I kind of went on Pinterest, as a lot of girls do, and looked for quotes, images, anything that would just kind of bring me comfort, and I really didn't find anything. I found quotes, but no images, and I was just kind of shocked.
Do you think it's, like you said earlier, it's taboo? People don't want to put that out there?
And I get it, it's a hard thing to talk about, so it's not talked about as much, but I just think, it's taboo, so it's not out there, which during, those late nights I couldn't sleep, and I wanted something, just something to comfort me, or something to know I wasn't alone. There was nothing really out there. So what I did was I reached out to a good friend who was also our wedding photographer, and she, with me, we both kind of just laid out some ideas and brainstormed what we can do. And it turns out that I have a cousin, a best friend, and a childhood friend that we were all pregnant together, and we were all due around the same time. So they had their 3 babies, and we organized a photo shoot.
I saw these pictures.
Yeah, where they had their babies, and I represented myself with my angel, just to kind of bring light and bring an image to that 1 in 4, because it's not just a statistic, it's people, it's families that are affected.
And it's a great visual, because nowadays everything is visual.
Very, yeah.
Have you heard the story? No, I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch and see what it's all about.
Exactly.
And those are very strong photos.
They are.
Especially, you know, because I don't want to say, hey, if you haven't been through it, it's not going to touch you. It is going to touch you. But when I showed them to my wife, it brought everything back again.
Yeah.
But we like when it comes back, because we don't want to forget.
Yeah.
And, you know, she was 5.5 months pregnant when it happened, so which means we didn't prepare a nursery or anything yet.
Right.
I can't imagine what you had to go home to.
Yeah, it was hard. We had the shower had been done, the nursery was put together. I mean, everything was ready. We were good to go. So it was just, we were completely blinded by everything that happened.
And again, you feel alone.
You do, in a way. I mean, granted, you know, I have my husband and both of our families and our community and our faith. I mean, everything has just been, we've been very supported, and we're so thankful. But in the actual sense of the loss of our baby, you just kind of feel alone. Like, there's no one truly that understands. There are people who get it, but in that situation or in that moment, you just feel alone.
Would you find comfort in sitting in the nursery, or did that bother you to even go in there?
I think at first, my husband, you know, he went in and put all the stuff from the hospital in the room, and we closed the door. And he was real protective. He was real worried that I was going to be triggered, or that it was going to just make me too sad. So he wanted to make sure I didn't go in there, because he wanted to make sure I was protected. He was worried. Good. But when he wasn't home, I'd go in there and I'd open the nursery door and I'd just sit and I'd cry. And I know it's hard for him to see, but, you know, mourning and grief is a part of the process. And that was just my way to kind of be with her, I guess.
And it surrounds you with everything that was going to be hers.
Yeah. So it was comforting. And I know for some moms that I've talked to, the nursery was completely put away. They wanted nothing to do with it. It was just too hard of a reminder. For me personally, it was comforting.
How are you doing now?
I'm okay. I have moments.
You seem really strong.
It's hard, but I can say that, like I said, our support system with our family has been amazing, but also our faith, and I think that's played a huge role into everything. So
you have the images on Facebook. Are they going anywhere else? Do you plan on sharing these nationwide or starting a campaign in other places?
Actually, so Liz Evans, I want to make sure I give her the credit. She's the photographer that helped me create these, or that created these images. We have started a website, and it's siennaswings.com, and those images are going to
spell that for us. Spell Sienna.
Sienna is SIENNAS, and then WINGS.com.
Okay.
And Liz is actually the one that's going to be designing and doing all of that. It's going to have all the images on there. It's going to have resources for any families who have gone through this, such as Jessica's House, which is a home in Turlock that provides grief counsel, or I guess support group for grieving families.
Okay.
There's going to be my blog, which has been my thing that's helped me through is writing. So my blog will be on there, and then there will be links to the events that we have coming up. We actually did hear back from some people that have heard about this campaign all the way in the Caribbean.
Oh, wow.
And Tobago.
Yeah.
And
Trinidad, Tobago?
Yeah, Trinidad, Tobago. And we got a few messages from them saying that they had heard and were impacted and want to spread what we're doing here in their area. So I was totally humbled by that. That's just
is the 1 in 4, is that United States? Is that worldwide?
You know, I'm not sure exactly the specifics. I just know, I'm assuming it's United States, because I don't think that, I don't know. I really don't know. In developed or less developed countries, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I was wondering if there were areas of the world where maybe this risk factor is a little bit higher.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's the United States, that it's the 1 in 4, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay,
on that.
All right. You mentioned something about events. Do you guys have any events coming up that the community can get involved with?
This event that I'm going to mention is not my own. I'm going to go, but it's not mine. It's called Light the Night, and it's actually a national event. It's going to be going on, I think, all over the United States. And it's going to be in Modesto on October 14th, and it's put on by Doctors Hospital. And basically what they do is there's a memorial that goes on, and it's at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And then by 4 p.m., they're going to do a balloon release for all the babies that were lost. And it's just a way to bring the community together. And
these are babies that maybe have had cancer, leukemia.
It's any infant loss, stillbirth, or miscarriage.
Right. Okay. That's why I told you, I think I'd heard of this before.
Yeah.
And it was, I had helped out a young lady who had passed away from leukemia, and there was a light the night. So that's why I brought it back to me. So, and that event is when?
That's October 14th in Modesto at La Loma Park.
Okay.
And then we do have an event that's coming up in the spring, and this is in progress. We're working on this right now. It's called Sienna's Walk, and it's basically just going to be a walk to remember all the babies, again, that were lost, whether it was miscarriage, stillbirth, infant loss. We just want to bring the community together, remember all those babies, and there's going to be different things there. Like Jessica's house will be setting up a table, and it's going to be a way to bring the community together and remember all those babies that were lost.
And you're planning this for the spring?
Yes, this will be in the spring. We're still trying to settle on a date, but we do know that the money that we do raise from this is going to go towards a scholarship in her name, and that'll be for some, a high schooler in the community. And then we're going to use a chunk of that money to make care baskets for families who go home empty-handed, basically, from the hospital.
So this is your platform right now, Liz. This is your chance to ask people to sponsor, to get involved. How can they contact you if they want to be a sponsor of this? Maybe they want to set up a booth. Maybe it's a doctor with a private practice that wants to get out. Right. And, maybe it's an OBGYN that would like to get out and talk to moms.
Yeah. Basically, what we have going right now is we have siennaswings.com, which is a website. We have the Facebook page, which is called 1in4StillbornStilloved. And that is a way to contact me if you'd like. And it's also a way to see all the beautiful images that Liz was able to capture. It has information, has a link to the website as well. And then if you want to contact me, I would say probably the best way would be through there, just to message me through that page. Okay.
Ultimate goal moving forward. What's the big picture for you where you say, I just can't wait until this happens?
I think the ultimate goal as a still mom and as Sienna's mom is, one, to preserve her memory, which I feel like we've been able to do this far. And also just to bring the community together, to raise awareness for all those families that have lost babies. Granted, there's no real secure way of ensuring that it won't happen, but there's measures that you can take, like counting your kicks, being your own advocate, just getting the conversation going. It's not taboo. It's not, it doesn't have to be a secret. It can be talked about, and there's people out there who are willing to support and help and talk to you through it. So I just want the community to know that stillbirth and miscarriage is a very valid, it happens. It's not just a number, it's a statistic, and there's real people out there affected. And I would just love for the community to be open to understand what goes on with these families and to know that there's people there to support them.
I love what you're doing. I mean, this happened to us 20-something years ago, but we still go to his marker, celebrate. I told you before that when he turned 21, or would have turned 21, we went out there with a bottle of tequila, had the whole family. We did a shot, just celebrated with him. So, the same as my son Daniel is always on my mind. I know Sienna is on yours all the time, and this is a great way to honor her memory with what you're doing. The scholarship down the line, I encourage anybody that's thinking about sponsoring an event to get in on the ground floor of this one, because it's just going to take off. Liz, give us the website again and Facebook where people can get more information.
Yes, so the website is siennaswings.com, and the Facebook page is called 1in4StillbornStilloved, and that's all smushed together. There's no spaces between any of that.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming in. I can't wait to talk to you again as we get closer to your first annual walk, and we get you back in here to tell everybody about it. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you coming in. I know it's tough, but you're doing wonderful things.
Thank you.